You're listening to the Variety Sports Network, your home for the best sports podcasters and live shows.
And welcome to a special edition here of the Fatboy FadeAway Sports, here brought to you at Variety Sports Network. Tyler, we said we're going to jump on right after the Warriors-Grizzlies game. It was not what we wanted, my friend here. It was not the result we were hoping for. We were hoping for a 3-0 start to the season against the Grizzlies. Your initial thoughts? I'm 131-110, the final. Your thoughts on the game here? Disappointing.
I don't know if I should be pissed or if I should be sad. Like, it just isn't what I thought was going to happen. Like, we've always said, oh, they show up for the big games. And, like, we're doing this after show because this is a big game for the Warriors. Like, the Grizzlies mean something. As much as we want to downplay it, it actually does mean something to the Warriors. We had the trash talk before the game, and we just got ran out the building. What's up, P-Shark?
P-Shark. It's feeling good right now.
It's so depressing. I don't know if I should be sad, pissed. There's a lot to complain about, a lot to get into. But
we're going to do it in a very short time, like Will.
Yeah. I'm very upset. Jordan Poole's minutes were he shot okay, but his defense is non-existent. I don't know if you want to get into that because you're more of a supporter of him. But the way he plays defense is, even with if a guy tried, like even if Jordan Poole tries to play defense.
Dude, they gave up 48 points in the first quarter. You texted me that. I'm not going to game, but you're like, they gave up 48 in the first. I'm like, well, no need to look into that first quarter of the box.
No,
that is the issue with this team. Memphis, I was talking to our guy all day about this game. I was like, I knew in my head, though, they just still weren't going to be able to perform defensively because at least Memphis knew who they were going to be that day with Tyus Jones. They knew that he was the guy. And, like, coming in, you knew who, for the most part, was going to play pretty good. He wasn't great, but he was what he was. I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting part in that regard. What do you think about, that part of it?
It's just such a bad start. We needed this game as much as any other team in the league, especially like Memphis is on this down. Have we ever been the get-right team ever since Steph Curry's stepped on the court in a major way? We've never been the get-right team. No team has ever been like, oh, let's play the Warriors. Now how bad they play defense, it's like, oh, that's a good team to face right now. It's especially on the road. They just can't. They don't do anything. Kuminga sprains his ankle. That doesn't help. And then, it's so hard to watch. The defense is non-existent. Curry and Draymond are the only ones who are really putting out any effort. I said Draymond played his best offensive game of the season, and they still gave up 131 points on the other side. So it just doesn't. I don't know what they can do to be better. It just seems like they don't have the talent at certain spots on the roster, or at least the depth.
Well, let's get into that part because Kerr is the part, with some of these things, or as Pete Shark here I want to point out real quick, they needed that bad. That was the other part in that. I was like, the Warriors, the Memphis really needs it. They had a bad one. They needed it desperately tonight. They get it. Well, like we said, 131-110.
Yeah, but they're the 2 seed. We're
yeah, but they have banged up. They have Adams out. If you wanted them in any game, this is the game you thought you could take advantage of.
Yeah, but we need it just as bad as them. I don't want that cop out. Oh, we didn't need it as bad as them. We need every game we could get at this point.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, no, and the thing with the Warriors too that also concerns me is I said at the beginning of the year, if you would tell me a team with 7 wins is winning an NBA championship, I would say probably that's going to be wrong. I mean, there's no way a team with 7 wins on the road is going to win a championship. And here I am trying to convince myself that this team can win a championship. And maybe we're coming at them. Oh, well, I know Kerr, I heard him on the radio the other day. He's we got Wiggins. It's they're trying to keep the positive energy. We get Peyton back. The reality is those guys still have to play basketball for a little bit to get into a rhythm. I don't know. Mateo had it perfectly. It's just a frustrating season right now for the Warriors. We'll get the Grizzlies parts in a second here, but just from the Warriors, just frustrating. For me, Tyler, again, road loss, pathetic defense, knew it was a big game, and you gave up 48. I don't know. At this point of the year, that's to me not a recipe for success.
Yeah, going forward, I can't buy it anymore. I was that high on them just on Sunday. I was like, oh, they're coming off a 5-game win streak. We're getting Curry back. Wiggins will come back to it. Now it's the same old Warriors. It doesn't matter who's playing if we don't have the full roster. We need the full depth. We need Wiggins. What? Yeah, we need Wiggins. We need DiVincenzo to play better than he did today. He played awful. He got like one shot up. He scored 2 points. I don't know. It's just the whole roster needs to be healthy, or else this team has no chance. Jerome is garbage. It's
Oh,
just not
God.
very good.
He was pathetic tonight. That one defensive Edward Miller just laid into Reggie Miller, well deserved. He's like, what kind of defense is that? That's Olay defense, sir. That's what that is right there. That's bad defense. Yeah, the road record, it's so bad. That's the problem I have an issue with, with the team. Before we get back to the Warriors, what do you think from a Memphis standpoint? They obviously had that big week. We talked about it the week before. What do you think about them? Is this a momentum win that can get them to stay at that 2 seed? I think realistically now Grizzlies fans are kind of like, because of maybe not even Ja being out, because I think they'll think he comes back. But like, I think if you know how to win, I think Clark and Adams is a bigger deal than most people believe. Like maybe just your average fans thinks. To me, those will be big injuries. To win a championship, usually you need depth in those regards. And so I don't know. What do you think about Memphis side of this?
I really actually like Memphis. I mean, as far as winning the whole thing, I don't think this is their year. Ja has to get back. If Ja's not coming back, I don't know.
We'll get into that in a second. I have that. That's on my loser of the game. That's my loser. Okay, Shark. I like it. Spoiler alert there. I like it. Go ahead.
But as far as the Grizzlies, Ja has to get healthy. But if Ja is healthy, this team can beat anybody in a 7-game series. Like Dylan Brooks, I think he'll hold them back. But I think they should play Santi Adalma more. I think he's a baller. I think they need Steven Adams to get healthy. Obviously, Brandon Clark's like but if those two guys get healthy and then you have Bane doing his thing, it's just whether Dylan Brooks holds you back.
Do you think Brooks' green thing, were you entertained by that tonight? The smell of the armpit, like other things like that? Or did you see anything that you weren't expecting? Him and Curry were talking a little bit. They play in 10 days from now. Our guy again's going to that game as well. I wish I was. That should be a good atmosphere. You would think the Warriors would really want that one. They would need every road win they can ever get now. I mean, every road win's a championship win at this point. I mean, I don't know. Like, what do you think about that matchup in 10 days from that standpoint?
I mean, I don't see it going a different way with the Warriors. I can't bet on the Warriors on the road anymore. Do you have any faith in them winning this game in 10 days?
Back, they're off rhythm or something. That's the one we need. We need Ja back before that game. We need just stuff.
It motivates them because Ja's there. It doesn't make sense at this point. They don't seem like they even care.
What do you think, though, real quick on Brooks Green tonight? Anything that stood out to you? Anything you unexpected? Anything
I mean, the fact that he held his composure when Draymond Green was putting his armpit in his nose was the most composure I've seen from Dylan Brooks all year. It was impressive. I mean, just to stand there and take it like that. And no, I actually Dylan Brooks played a hell of a game. Some of his misses were ugly, but he made enough and he played a good game. But I'd let him shoot more. I still wouldn't run at him every time he has the ball.
Let's hit Kerr for a second here, because P. Shark brought this up. I wanted to get into this real quick. I mean, he does this once in a while by starting small. I don't know. That's just a weird move on the Grizzlies to I don't know. That was just an odd one for him. And I don't know. Sometimes I think he just not he out coaches himself, but I think when I heard him on the radio this week in our local one, it just sounded like a coach that wanted to believe in that 5-0 record, wanted to believe Wiggins and Payton can come back.
And Curry. Don't forget Curry.
Yeah, but he was on the verge of coming back at that. It was yesterday when he did the thing. It just sounded like he's holding his hat so much onto Wiggins part of this right now with Payton. I don't know. That's the part that's a little bit concerning. Let's get to the positive. What is the part when you see a game like this, you're like, okay, they can still maybe win a championship?
There's nothing. I mean, other than Patrick Baldwin, I actually enjoy watching him play basketball. I feel like I'd still rather see Moses Moody. The fact that Moses Moody's in Santa Clara right now.
Yeah.
And not getting any playing time for this team that can't win a game on the road.
And it's weird because
you watch James Wiseman go to another team and actually not that he's winning games with Detroit, but at least he's showing that he's an offensive talent. Let Moses do that if you're winning 7 games the whole year on the road.
Like I said, no Kuminga, no Moody, no Lamb tonight. That's a big issue, I know, for Mr. there. So let's wrap it up here. Warriors lose 131-110. Your final thoughts on the game moving forward to the next couple games here? Are they going to fall out of the playoffs? Something like that?
I don't think they'll leave the 10 seed, but I mean, at this point, how many home games? I wish I looked at the schedule. It depends how many home games.
Let me look it up a little bit.
Because they're not winning anymore. Maybe a couple more road games, but they're going to go 2-5, 2-7 the rest of the way, probably.
Like somebody said they had 10 road games left. That was, I think, before the one they even played this week. And I was like, they'll win 3. And that's even if you do the math, that's going, okay, who do they play? At LA Clippers, at Atlanta, at Memphis, at Houston, at Dallas, at Denver, at Sacramento, at Portland. None of those you're like, yeah, automatic.
Well, at Houston's probably the one.
I mean, maybe.
But it's still the Warriors, so you're right. You don't believe in anything they do on the road. But that one looks we could win that one.
No, for sure. And like I said, I think that's it's just gonna be a quick one tonight. Tyler, your last thoughts on the game here? Like I said, like any last thoughts on the Warriors, Grizzlies, Brooks, Green? Just last takeaway from the game you want to get into. Our guys at Memphis, congratulations on the win. Big win for you guys. Like you said, you guys really needed it for multiple reasons. You guys needed this win tonight. It'll be interesting. We meet in 10 days as well. We know that both teams will want to get that W. Last takeaway on the game.
Just depressing. I'm going to go to bed sad and upset. And thanks a lot, Warriors. You didn't even try. It wasn't even like we played this.
Michael Green
in the head thinking it's a big game. They show up for the big games. And here we are. Just moping. Or I'm moping.
Be positive. Iggy got a couple assists in there. Green hit a couple threes.
Oh, you want to get into Iggy? He said,
I don't want to get into it. I'm just trying to be positive.
18 minutes over 3, nothing. Garbage.
What after giving up 48 points in the first quarter, they weren't too bad on defense.
yeah. They gave up 90-something the rest of the 3 quarters.
All right. But that said, that's our emergency pod for the night. We don't do this very often anymore, Tyler. But that said, we always feel like it's fun to do it when Warriors play the Grizzlies. Maybe we'll do it again.
Thanks, P-Shark.
P-Shark, thanks for tuning in. Congrats on the win, I guess. All right. Till then, peace.